Russia warns a key pipeline to Europe is facing a new problem. Nordstream 1 will remain closed for an indefinite period. The head of the UN's nuclear watchdog warns of serious tensions at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant and says its physical integrity has been violated. The Russian energy giant Gazprom says it has scrapped plans to reopen a key gas pipeline to Europe. The company claims it can't restart Nord Stream 1 because of an oil leak in a turbine and that it will remain closed for an indefinite period. Well, that will have implications for Europe's energy supply this winter. The pipeline has already been completely shut off for 3 days. Moscow denies weaponizing energy supplies in retaliation for Western sanctions. But that's not how the move has been seen in European capitals. The president of the European Council took to Twitter to express his disappointment. Charles Michel said Gazprom's move is sadly no surprise. Use of gas as a weapon will not change the resolve of the EU. He went on to say, "We will accelerate our path towards energy independence. Our duty is to protect our citizens and support the freedom of Ukraine." Now, the BBC's economics editor, Faisal Islam, explained more about what Russian gas giant Gazprom has been saying.
It announced that this key artery for European gas supply, quote, has been fully shut down after it was shut for maintenance. And we'll show you a map of the pipeline, and you'll see it connects essentially Germany with Russia. It's a symbol of Germany's traditional dependence on Russian gas, 40% up until a few months ago. And the Russians claim to have found leaks in this maintenance. It was due to stop tomorrow. But many in the markets and amongst the diplomats think that this is a predictable escalation of an attempt essentially to blackmail Europe over supplies. Timing does seem rather questionable. Earlier today, G7 finance ministers, including Nadhim Zahawi, the UK Chancellor, agreed to cap the price we pay for Russian oil. The world will pay for Russian oil, and then this comes. It seems to have an element for tit for tat, very serious, because even during the height of the Cold War, those gas supplies from Russia into Europe continued.
Faisal Islam there. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency has said that there are tensions at the Russian-held Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in Ukraine, and the situation needs to be treated with immense caution. He's just arrived in Austria following his initial inspection of the plant, which has been damaged in fighting. On Thursday, a team of UN inspectors was finally able to reach Zaporizhzhia, and it was announced that they would stay there until at least Monday. Now, Russia says it will allow 2 of the team to stay at the facility permanently. Arriving in Vienna, the IAEA chief, Rafael Grossi, outlined his assessment and plans for the immediate future. Now, for more on the significance of the inspection, here's our security correspondent, Gardner, who is in Zaporizhzhia.
It's something of a breakthrough that Mr. Grossi and his team have been able to get in there, because it wasn't at all clear they were going to get access, because they've had to come through the Ukrainian lines, then pass through a kind of grey zone, no man's land, to get into the Russian-controlled zone. He has said that he was able to see everything he wanted to see. That's really important. He didn't spend very long there yesterday, but he's left 6 members of his team, 2 of whom are going to stay on a semi-permanent basis. And this is really important because there's been a lot of shelling around this nuclear plant. The stakes are very high here because it's not so much the physical damage to the reactor buildings themselves. They're well protected. They're designed to withstand even a crash from an aircraft. The problem is if the electricity is cut off, then there is the risk of the reactors overheating and having an accidental release of radiation that could affect whole areas across Europe. So that's why the stakes are high, the tension is high, and we're not out of the woods yet, because the fact is, this is Zaporizhzhia. It's a war zone. Ukraine and Russia are fighting each other, and that fighting is going to continue.